Okay, so last time we talked about ascending and not staying connected to your humanity. Now we're going to touch on the sensation that you're ascending so fast that you're feeling that you have this level of hierarchy over others. But do you? Let's look at it. Your ascension requires embodiment of the lesson. You have to embody all the upgrades that you get. You have to embody all the activations you signed up for. You have to embody all the lessons and all the energies that are flooding you. That takes time. That takes conscious effort. There's no hard line and no one, two, three steps on how long any being's integration period takes. It takes as long as it takes. And I think the one rule that you can use to navigate this is to just be. Let the energy flow. So that goes with we are in the flow over force, because you cannot force integration. You cannot force ascension, and you cannot force um, embodiment. You have to let it integrate into your body as it can. So some activations, some energies are super heavy. We feel them in our body and we want them to leave as soon as possible. And then they start to linger and you're like, why is this taking so long? Why do I feel so bad? Why is everything so heavy? Because the energies are prompting you to integrate. And how do we do that? Well, integration looks different for everybody, but in general, the processes that we go through to ground also facilitate integration because it is an influx of energy. And the more that we can close the loop with the big body of energy that is the planet and us, then that static, that extra energy gets deposited into the earth, and then you can hold on to what is beneficial for you. And it took me a long time to learn this myself because um, I am not one that has to ground every day in order to function. There are many out there that way, and you know who you are. That fairy frenzy will get you, and um, it can be observed by others, and they go, yeah, you probably should ground. And the being in it is like, oh, this feels great. I have so much energy. I have so many ideas, and I'm just all over the place. But that's just it. How effective are you when your energy is scattered to the four corners? Probably not very effective. You want to focus your energy and you want to really set your intention of that moment to integrate the lesson, to get clarity on a new activation, whatever it happens to be. And so if you're just like, I'm going to receive all this energy in, and there's some magic that's going to take place, and everything's going to suddenly make sense, and I'm just going to feel so much better, that's not exactly true. And it's really not. It's doing yourself a disservice. You can go about this in a more focused way. So meditation works as well. If you're one that likes to meditate, I do. And I just set my intention for that meditation before I go into it. And I usually, 9 times out of 10, come out with much more clarity. Um, you can dive into more active shadow work where you're using LFG and then letting go and seeing what remains. And that's kind of my general guide for new energies that bring up old shadows to the surface. It's just to go back to LFG and let it go again and see if there's anything that remains in your psyche that needs to be dug into a little bit more. Auto writing is really, really good because you are literally, the energy just flows through you. You're not like methodically writing a paper. That's not what we're talking about. You just, what source creator, what is it you want me to know? That's how I used to start my auto writing all the time when I first started. And in the beginning, it would be a little cerebral, but then quickly it would bypass the brain and the ego altogether. And next thing you know, my hand is just writing, 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 writing. And at the end, when the energy starts to dissipate, I'd go back and read it and be astounded at what came through because I allowed that to flow. Grounding, and I mean feet on the ground, even if you have grounding footwear, when you need to be grounded, seriously grounded, you need to take your shoes and socks off, put your feet on the ground. You can put your feet in water. You can take an Epsom salt bath. Some people, a lot of people that are really connected to water, water elements. That's why they say they love to do dishes and they don't use a dishwasher because that's like their moment in the evening where they really need to ground and they're like, I can't wait to do the dishes. That makes perfect sense to me. But you want to do all that without any devices. You want to limit the EMF field around you so that the energy field that you're working with is yours, not extra from outside of you. And when you focus on that, it's not that you're trying to rush through the healing, but you allow the nervous system space to breathe and to process whether this feels different, whether this feels like the same old, same old. And if it does, you're going to feel some level of constriction, anxiety, chest tightness. And that is just a sign for you to take some deep breaths and do more shadow work. Whatever's working for you, whether it's the LFG, whether it's the journaling, whether it's the meditation, whether it's a combination of all of that. Because there's another layer. There's always another layer. But we really do heal like a scab heals over. It gets debrided and it gets a little smaller, but it doesn't totally go away. It takes time in order for it to fully and completely heal. On the journey of healing, it's not a checklist. I say this all the time, but because I hear people refer to it like it's a to-do list. Now, you can set intentions that I'm going to tackle some shadow work today on this subject, but that may not be the most prevalent energy rising in your energy body at that moment. And so, again, that's why I say we don't control anyone else, but sometimes we don't even control ourselves because this is an energy flow. And what needs to surface will surface. And many, many times, when the Schumann is blasting, or we're getting CMEs, or we're getting solar flares, different things that are happening, it will cause specific, very deeply shoved down energies to rise. Things that you never intended to actually deal with will come up. So you didn't control that, right? It just happened. But you have the importance is the reaction, not the action, because we don't control everyone's actions. We only control our own, which is the reaction. So focus there. If you're chasing activations and sessions and retreats and medicine journeys and all of that, I ask you to also equally chase how to embody the lesson of those because you always encounter aha moments. You have them all the time. Most profoundly in those sessions and medicine journeys and things, it comes up. That's what they are to do. They're to invoke that. But then what does it mean? How do you embody the lesson that comes up? How do you prevent from regressing once you leave the session or the retreat? Whenever you stop short of embodying the lesson, you're just going to fall back into the loop that's going to make you feel like you got to go back and do that again. And that is, you just replaced a negative loop with a healing loop. And loops are bad. I think we've learned that. Slow and steady wins the prize. Slow is grounded, it's embodied, it's calm, it's safe. And if this is you, leave me a comment. I'd love to assist you if you need it. I'd love to encourage you and congratulate you for what you already done. Love yourself enough to be real. Love yourself enough to give yourself the love and compassion that you so readily give everyone else. And love yourself enough to heal fully and completely, and then let that shit go. You've got this.